What is up, y'all? And to answer your first question, sadly, no. I'm not duck hunting right now. I wish I was. I really wish I was, but it's just not that time yet. It's getting close. Less than 2 weeks. And to all you duck hunters, you know that means crunch time. So whatever's not done's got to get done. And if it doesn't get done, someone's going to get hurt. So that being said, my name's Andrew Yeomans, and I am the owner of an up-and-coming boat fabrication company that you probably have not heard about, Blackout Kustoms. So I am still in the process of getting my shop built and put together and everything. And even though I have not even got the doors on it yet, I managed to find time to do a quick build for a good friend of mine, Jim Stancil. He's the owner of the Boat Center up in Rogers, Arkansas. And to any of you that have met Jim, you know that he is just the nicest guy. And whether you're duck hunting or whether you're buying a boat, he's the guy to go to. So Jim's a good friend of mine. He's almost too nice to be in business, to put it that way. And unfortunately, a lot of people take advantage of him because of that, which is really sad. So don't do it. And if you do, I'll find you, and it's not going to be good. But needless to say, I did a quick build for Jim, and he sent me a 2021 1756 Havoc VJ. And he said, here's a boat. Do whatever you want to it. And today, I'm going to show it to you. And tell me what you guys think. So like I said, this is a 1756 Havoc VJ 2021. And when I got it, it did not have anything accessory-wise except the trolling motor bracket and plug. It does have the perforated floor, which I'll show you here in a second. But did not have any storage, did not have anything else. So let's walk through and I'll show you what I did. So I'll start at the front and work my way back. First thing that really stands out is my crash bars. Nobody else that I'm aware of on the market does crash bars like this. This is 1.5 inch, 1/4 inch wall, heavy duty hexagon tubing. And it's not just regular tubing, it's a architectural grade. It's very strong. This is a 1/4 inch wall. And on my personal boat, I have 1/8 inch wall, the same stuff. That's 1.25 inches. So small, a little bit smaller diameter, half the wall thickness. And I smacked a tree right here last season, going about 15 miles an hour, which is a pretty good hit, you know, on a solid tree. And it didn't even scratch it. Very, very strong tubing. So this quarter wall, it ain't going nowhere. Very, very strong. I kind of want to do a torture test on one at some point, just to see what it would actually take to even bend or dent this stuff. You'll fold the entire front end of your boat up if you ran it 40 miles an hour into a brick wall before you broke that tubing. So it's overkill, which is what I like to do. So hex tubing, bars in the front, and I made it to where you got a really good handle anywhere along the front when you're pulling it through the timber or anything like that. And obviously the main purpose is when you're bouncing in and out of trees, you know, not purposefully, not all the time. Depends who's driving. But this will protect your boat, because y'all know it does not take much to dent the front of these boats. No matter what kind of boat, whether it's Havoc, Edge, Ambush, it does not take a lot to cave in a front section of the boat. And to get that repaired is very expensive. So these bars come in very handy. And underneath, I have a rock light mount in the center of each side. And I use the new generation of mic tuning rock lights. They're the best, in my opinion, best looking, best performing, and they won't completely break the bank. And they're the only LED rock light that I've seen that puts out a true white light without any mixed colors in it, which isn't a huge deal, but they're really nice, and they're tough, and they look good. Like, you almost don't even see them until you get down. And they are extremely bright. Like at night, it would light up this whole pocket. So there's one there, one on the other side. Then I got my light bar housing. Nothing fancy here. I was trying to get somebody to do some plasma work for me for this build, but that just was not going to happen in the time frame I had. But on future builds, my company name and logo, Blackout Kustoms, will be cut out of the backside here, and most likely underglow underneath that. Then you got the two long straight grab handles up here, matching on each side. I believe they're about 28 inches. Of course, you can adjust them anywhere down the rail. Right now they're in a kind of spot where if someone was bird dogging in that corner, you know, they got a good handle to hold on to, or if you wanted to throw some decoys up on this mid deck, strap them down. Things get crazy, you're going through some rough stuff, you can definitely do that. And this is the 1 1/4 1/8 wall tubing I was telling you about that I actually have as crash bars on mine, and they're very strong. But as you can tell, I kind of really like the hexagon look very much. And by the way, this is kind of my own custom designed camo pattern. It does have the Nat gear stencil in it, obviously. Not the normal size. This is much, much bigger than your standard Nat gear, as you could tell. So this is a major brown base with touches of hazel, as you can see through it. And of course your flat black. So nothing super crazy. I do think it looks really good, but you guys can let me know what you think. It definitely looked darker when it was still in my shop when I was painting it and stuff, but you bring it out in the sunlight, it doesn't look all that dark, really. But I like it. So moving up here, you got a pretty large front storage. My life jacket. Very big. I think it's 30 by 40, 30 inches by 40 inches. Pretty large storage compartment with a full floor in it. And it's also linered inside. And then in the back, you also have pod storage. Also linered inside. This side has a wall right there, and it's sealed off, but it has a wall right there because I have a fuel cell underneath that goes all the way back, just like that 10-gallon fuel cell. And but the other side, the storage on the other side, it actually goes all the way back. So which this is still a pretty good size storage for sure. You could almost fit a full backpack in there. That's one nice thing about a large boat, is you have a lot of playroom. 1756. I'm used to 1550, which I like, especially going through a lot of thick stuff in the woods, but a lot of room in this boat. And here's your perforated floor. And yes, everything's a little dirty. I've been out looking for ducks all morning. And you got your rear deck hatch that's actually lockable. So a lot of people don't even put a latch on these, but when I was building it, I was dragging it over to the ramp to do some testing, and I just looked at my rearview mirror and I could just see it just bouncing just like that. I was like, well, that ain't gonna fly. So I put a twist latch in here that's lockable, and I did that because you know, a custom fuel cell, and especially if you have, you know, 2 batteries in the back that someone could just grab and go, you know, that's, you know, a few $100s. And I know I wouldn't want to have mine stolen, so I threw a lock on there, which I think turned out pretty good, and I like it. So I'll have to show you guys what I did inside here later, because I do not have the key with me at the moment. So once I get up to Jim's, I'll get the key out and I'll show you guys what I did inside. So moving over to the driver's side, you'll see I have a very different looking grab handle. And it does catch everybody's eye, and they always ask, like, what is that? Like, that looks so odd. And it does. If you're not used to seeing it, it does. But let me tell you, to anybody that sees it and says that's ridiculous, I tell them to get in the boat and sit in and act like they're driving, and they get in. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. Tiller handle here, all set. Oh, wow, that's kind of natural right there versus having to twist your hand and hold it something straight like this. And let me tell you, it's an 1.25 inch, same hex tubing, 1/8 inch wall, and it is very, very comfortable. And the hex design gives you a real good grip. It's not a textured finish. This one is just painted. In the future, I will be powder coating a wrinkle finish on all my grab bars and everything like that. But this one's just painted. But even still, I mean, you could wax it down with pig fat, and I mean, you could still hold on. It's a good grip. And of course, you got your trim switch here. Which this is just a basic switch. I will be upgrading these also in the future, that say actually up, down versus in and out, like a winch. But it's nice because this little part right here, it kind of keeps your thumb from slipping off, you know, if you got ice or anything, or your hands are wet or anything like that. The reason for this part going back, when you're making a hard left turn, your whole body wants to go this way. Well, when I designed this, I was trying to figure out a way how I could kind of help brace myself. So if you notice, when you go to grab, your arm kind of sits in this groove right here. And it's very comfortable, and it actually kind of braces yourself. Like, I could take a left turn, not even holding on, just brace like this, and be perfectly stable. But between the two, like, you're not going anywhere. And it's hard to understand until you actually experience it, but it is very nice. So these 2 middle pieces are hollow, obviously, and your trim switch wiring goes down and then comes out and goes into your rail right here. Now these 2 end pieces are kind of dirty. These 2 end pieces are solid, and I machine out the spot for the bolt mount right there. Same thing in the front. So they are extremely solid, and they're not going anywhere, and it provides a clean look, because you don't have, you know, another piece of tubing or flat piece, you know, welded out like this and bolted, or welded in and bolted there. It just looked tacky to me. So just a nice clean fit, and at the angle these are cut, they give you plenty of base to grip on to this this T-rail here, and it's very solid. So definitely a must-have for sure. Anybody that drives hard, especially in the timber, or anybody for any reason that duck hunts, you got to try out one of these. Like, they're super nice. I can't wait to get a bunch of these out and let people see what they think about them. All I know is I love them. My buddies love them, and they will be getting these on their boats, hopefully before season. I got to make a few of those, and then a couple of them already have crash bars on the front of their boats, and I got another set to make for another buddy of mine, all before season. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do, but let's go around the back of the boat. So a lot of people ask me why I put these bars on the back. It's like, well, for one, I don't know if you've ever been stuck on anything in the back and you're trying to pick your boat up. There's nothing really to grab onto. You know, you can kind of get a hand under this lip here, and then you don't have hardly anything to hold on to. So I designed these. These are the same 1/4 inch wall, 1.5 inch tubing to match the front. And there's a couple purposes for these. One is a grab handle, you know, if you get stuck or if you're, you know, moving it around in the woods or anything like that. The other is if you're, you know, driving through the timber hard and you're taking a corner or whatever and you hit a tree, like the same thing goes for up there. Like if you drift into a tree, which might sound stupid, but trust me, it does happen. If you drift into a tree at this back corner, you know, you're gonna cave that in, and that would be just as costly of a repair as up there. And if you got into the lower panel, then that would be very, very expensive to fix that. So definitely well worth the reinforcement there, for sure, in my opinion. And I just think they look cool. Everybody likes stuff that looks cool, right? So back here, if I can keep from sinking in the mud, I got another rock light right there that shines straight down. And by the way, all these rock lights are Bluetooth wireless. You can control everything from an app. They're all RGB. They're on orange right now, but they're fully RGB, so you can change to any mix of color you want. You can have them fade in and out of colors. You can have strobe lights. You can have anything you want. Very cool, and definitely my favorite rock lights by far. So I have another one on this outside shining straight down, which kind of illuminates this whole back spot right here. And you got your another mic tuning reverse light right there, and then you got another rock light here in the same place on the other side as your rooster tail lights. And let me tell you, they are very bright. And when I first showed my buddies how bright they are, they're like, oh man, you're gonna be blinding us going through the woods, you know, when we're following you and everything else. I'm like, no, because these are fully dimmable. So you can have them totally bright where they're literally like light up all the way back to the tree line, or you can dim them down to where they're like almost non-existent. So like, it's when I have them dimmed down, like they still look cool, you can still see them clear, but they're not gonna blind anybody behind you. So you got rock light there shining down, rock lights in the front each side shining straight down, and then these shining kind of at an angle down a little bit, but mostly straight back, you know, at the angle of the transom. So next thing, some of you might be wondering what that is. That is my bilge exhaust, and I'll show you more of that once I get this unlocked. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a piece of 1.25 inch hex tubing that the bilge is hooked to. So it's actually really cool when you turn your bilge on, it kind of almost, the water kind of comes out almost at like a hexagon shape, and the rock lights illuminate it. So there's another cool factor, not a big deal, but it's definitely a bilge exhaust setup that isn't going anywhere, and it looks cool, in my opinion. And it goes with the theme, you know. So then you got your transom steps. The same 1.25 inch, 1/8 inch wall hex tubing is welded to the boat and goes around all the way around. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of a lip right here. And the reason I left that little bit of a lip, you know, the boat's gonna tip and your foot naturally wants to slide off, especially when you got weight going forward and your foot wants to slide off. So that gives you a little bit of an edge for your boot to kind of catch on, so you don't slip off as easy. And the liner helps for traction as well. I can't show you underneath right now, obviously, but it does have a 100 gauge plate that is bent 3 angles that kind of goes down and back and up. Not only do you have this tubing and plate fully welded to the boat, but you have another reinforcement that goes down and boxes in this whole transom step, which makes it extremely strong. That'll also help if you accidentally drift into a stump or something low water that isn't gonna hit the bars, but it is gonna hit down here. That's very strong. It's not going anywhere, and it's tied into some of the strongest part of the transom. So that is a lot of protection in itself. And it's really nice. Like, I always thought, oh, you know, transom steps are for old men, I don't need them. But let me tell you, after putting these on here, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put a set on my boat just because of how nice they are. And the way I designed the bottom, where it boxes in, it actually helps you gain a little bit of hole shot. It helps push that nose down just a little bit faster. So moving on to the motor, this is a Tohatsu 70 2-stroke. It's got the nice trim switch on the side there. I really like this motor. I wanted to keep this motor for myself, but I decided to go ahead and pair it with this one because at the time Jim was having some issues getting motors, but he doesn't now. He's got a crap ton of brand new Tohatsu 4-strokes if anybody wants one, and he's got a bunch of new boats and stuff too. But great running motor. Currently has a 17 pitch prop on it, so needless to say, even the 1756, it launches like a rocket. If you don't need a ton of hole shot like that, like if you're not carrying heavy loads, you could probably put like a 19 pitch prop on this motor, on this rig, and still have plenty of hole shot and probably be running about probably close to 50 miles an hour. So very nice setup. Of course, you got your power trim and everything. And I put a new style Tohatsu big tiller on it. And this right here, this button, you see, you push it with the key off, it doesn't do anything. So I wired it into the key ignition, and it lights up blue. I don't know if you can hear that. That is your electric choke. So there's no pull choke on this. It's got electric choke, which is nice. And I was looking for a button that would look good in this this tiller handle, and I found these, and they're very nice. They're machined aluminum, very nice quality. It's got a real good feel to it, and again, it just looks cool. But I wired it into the ignition because you don't want to accidentally leave your electric choke on. Definitely not good for it. You'll burn it out. So when you turn your key off, even if your choke button is pushed in for whatever reason, it's still off. So just another safety precaution. And also, has a pretty bright blue, especially at night. So if for some reason you bump it or whatever, and you have your key on for whatever reason, you'll see very quickly that it's still on, and you'll remember to shut it off. So this is the first Blackout Kustoms full build that is going to be for sale. Once I leave here, I'm going to the car wash, I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm taking it to Jim's, and it's going to be sitting on his showroom floor. So if any of you guys are interested in buying this boat, you can go see it at the boat center in Rogers, Arkansas, and you can call him for pricing and all that good stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I want some feedback. I'd really like to hear what you guys like and don't like. So like I said, my shop is still not completely done yet, which most of you don't want your boat being built during the middle of season. Anyways, if you want to schedule a future build or a build towards the end of season or after season, just holler at me and I'll do my very best to help you out. Leave your comments below, like and subscribe for those of you watching this on YouTube, and there will be more to come. This is only the very beginning.